article is right here.
Title? You know something is coming.
Oh, there we go. All right, Shalom. Yeah. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Gotcha. Honor to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone. I just never done of it. And peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, you know, we out here once again. We're gonna go right into it. As you can see in the title, they know something is coming. Okay, now I was watching the movie, the famous movie. You know, some of these producers, they really gotta credit us, man, because we be making some of their content very famous. You know, the second, you know, we see it, if it's prophetic related, you know, there's videos coming out on their left and right. So really, they gotta come send us a paycheck. You know, but anyway, I was watching that movie, Leave the World Behind. Okay, and last night, and you know, it's a lot of definitely a lot of interesting gems, symbolism, information, nuggets that were thrown out there. And it really goes to show the difference in mindset between those that have the spiritual eyes to see and everybody else who is just in the world. Because we're now at the point where these elites are putting it straight up in your face, but at the same time, you got people that watch the movie and have no idea what's going on. You know, some of them are like, I don't get it. You know, what's all this about? Some of them said, somebody said, it was too scary, so they Googled what happened and they didn't watch it. You know, and I'm like, man, you people are so through. I mean, it's like, this is why these elites are able to do these kinds of things. They're like, look, we can literally put out a movie that says, we are the elites, we are the devils, we're real, and this is exactly what we're doing. This is who you are, and this is what we're going to do to you. And people wouldn't watch it. Or they'd watch it and say, oh, yep, conspiracy theories. You know? And in the movie, the guy was basically breaking it down about how all the signs were there pertaining to what was going to happen. Okay? But it also showed you in the movie that regardless of whether he knew what was going to happen or not, he couldn't prepare himself well enough because that's how bad it got. And in that movie, I was thinking about it, how really they showed the perspective of some of this family that was somewhat lucky because they weren't in the city when the shit went down. But if they showed the perspective of what was going on in the city, it would have been a much more horrific movie. Okay? Now, something in there, you know, there was a part in there, which you can go watch it, but there was a part in there about the Tesla cars, because there was a cyber attack, right? So these the ones behind the cyber attack were able to control anything that pretty much is you know, connected through the internet, okay, or through some satellite technology. All right. And so basically through that, they were able to cause like these Tesla cars, these electronic cars, the ones that have like autopilot and all that, they were able to turn them on and just have them start driving shit. You know? So technology can be really dangerous in the wrong hands. But another scene in there was one pertaining to one of the rich families. It's funny, one of the neighbors, their names were the Huxleys. But there was another rich family that had a bunker. You know, they were preparing before all this went down. So in the movie, they basically showed you that a lot of people know what's about to go down, and some of them got prepared and built these super rich underground bunkers to try and prepare themselves and hide for when the time comes. So I was reading an article this morning concerning Mark Zuckerberg, and they're saying that he basically they caught his ass building a secret underground bunker on one of his territories in Hawaii. So let's go into that. But it's not just him. That's the interesting thing. Why is Mark, hold on one second. This guy, the so-called founder, owner, whatever of Facebook or Meta now, the same platform that used to take down conspiracy theory videos, and yet he's out here building an underground bunker. Isn't that something that a conspiracy theorist would be doing? So if his platform takes down videos on conspiracy theorists, why would he be giving into it by building an underground bunker? What he got to worry about? What does he know that's making? Because they said that shit was over $100 million. So why are you spending that much money on an underground bunker? And keeping a secret too. That should get people thinking. But the average individual, man, they don't understand. So it goes to show you how dangerous, that cyber attack, when they get in your system, because the thing about technology is when as the time goes on, the whole point is to make things easier, to automate more things. So you build a software that can automate a manual task. So when it comes to these generators, these cars that have like electric cars or even just regular cars, they all have operating systems, which are software inside of them that allows them to change the gears for you depending on the speed that you're going at. That allows them to maneuver all sorts of things inside of your car. When you have the screen that you press and then this happens, guess what? There's technology in there. And the reason your GPS works is because it's connected to some satellite somewhere. So the internet is really an interconnected net of devices. That's all it is. Devices sending information one to another. They just connected one to another. So all these people got to do is just get up into your connection, mainly via like a satellite or something, and then just start disrupting all your services. And you'll see just how much damage it can cause. Go watch the movie.
Yep. Amos 9 and 2, referencing what you mentioned about Zuckerberg and his bunker.
Yep.
Though they dig into hell, then shall mine hand take them.
Now, when it says though they dig into hell, right? It doesn't mean that you're gonna have these individuals with a pickaxe and they digging up into trying to find hell. You know what I'm saying? When it says hell, it's talking about the grave. But the grave is underground, right? You gotta dig into the earth, and then you bury somebody up in there. So the point that it's making here is those underground bunkers are underground. They're sub level. Okay. So though they dig into hell, meaning they build these bunkers to try and protect themselves, right? Go ahead.
Then shall mine hand take them.
Then shall mine hand take them, meaning they're not going to escape. Okay, go on.
Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down.
And how are they climbing up into heaven? The same way they have underground bunkers, they also have them satellites, but also them places up in the heavens, the Shemayim, that they can hide. Okay, like they show you that in some of these videos where they got people up in them little satellite space stations and so on and so forth. And why are they doing that? Because they know how chaotic it's going to be on the earth.
And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence.
Yeah, that's the mountain retreats. You know, because they have underground bunkers. They got bunkers and safes and them protective spaces inside of these different mountains and caves and all that. But the Lord says, though they do that, He's gonna catch their ass. I mean, ultimately, they're going. A lot of them are not even gonna be here in America if they know something. Those that are high up enough on the chain, they're not gonna be here in America. As a matter of fact, making a reference, we're gonna keep going into that movie. We got to keep going into that movie. But one thing that one of the characters said, interestingly enough, he was a Jake, right? One thing he said was, because he knew what was coming. He said he had this I think it was either a client or a friend of his. Yeah, that's it. And he said he had one of these his friends that was like them, and he didn't say his name. He didn't say his name. He said, if I say his name, you're gonna know who I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna say his name. And he basically said that, one time they were chilling, they got super drunk and all of that, and then the guy told him that he was gonna go, I don't know, go vacation, go somewhere. And he said, where is he gonna go? And he said he's gonna go chill with his Kabbalah friends, and some secret drink blood, whatever, with his Kabbalah friends. And they laughed about it, right? Then he said that same friend called him before the shit went down, like maybe a couple weeks or so, and that friend was asking him to move a lot of his assets and his money. And he's like, yo, this is crazy stuff. So he asked his friend, he said, well, where you going? You gonna go drink some blood with your secret Kabbalah friends as a joke? He said the guy didn't laugh. He was just quiet. And he said that the guy always laughs, even at a terrible ass joke. But he said the guy didn't laugh. He just said, you take care of yourself, man. And then that's it. So he said that's the thing that really got him like, oh shit, something is going on. This guy knows something. But they try to throw some disinformation out there, because he said that the scariest thing is the truth, and the truth is nobody's pulling the strings. It's just that at the highest level, you can hope to get a heads up. No, 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 no. That's because in the movie, you know what they do? They set you up with good information, and then they throw you off with disinformation. So they try to get you like, yeah, this movie is really revealing secrets, and maybe one of those secrets is that really nobody is pulling the strings. No, niggas, we know you pulling the strings. You just trying to get some heat off your back, trying to throw people straight. Ain't nobody pulling the strings. No, somebody's always pulling the strings. There's always a puppet master somewhere. Okay. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, that was it. If I may too, when it mentions hell, which you already went into, but I believe the word there is Sheol in the Hebrew, which means Shawal, right? Which means literally the grave, and that's where they're digging into the earth to make the bunkers.
There you go, and it's gonna be their grave.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
All right, let's go. Let's read up into that thing. See, the Lord has given us the ability to decipher. So we have the eye salve to be able to see the present, the past, and the future, and to be able to see through the dark deception that this world tries to throw at you. And that's a blessing to be able to watch things with a spiritual eye is a blessing because not everybody is able to do that. That's why you got these people that are here, and in the movie they show you that they do so much. So much symbolism out there. They threw the tensions between Jacob and Esau up in there. They threw the mindset. You had the son and the daughter, which on the shirt of the son it said obey. But he was a peon. He was done. He didn't know what was going on.
He started losing his teeth.
Yeah, he started losing his teeth because they started emitting. Bro. They started emitting those radioactive waves through the sound. Yeah, they can do a lot of damage, man. And they were showing you. And when they looked at the city, they said, what, a civil war is coming. They just saw bombs, explosions. That shit was just done. That's why the scriptures say the cities are going to be trouble. Because this place, them congested areas are going to be the worst places. People are going to lose. They're going to lose their minds quick. And like he said, when they don't have a common enemy, they turn on each other. The scriptures tell you that at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. What happened to the dude that the character knew? He said, yeah, I know that guy. That's one of my contractors. He's always cool and shit. The dude came out with a shotgun. The first thing he told him was, step back, step off the porch and stand by a car. He said, bro, but he said, step off the porch and stand by a car. And he came out with a shotgun. Because he's like, look, he said, I can't help you. All I can do is protect me and my own. That's the mindset but that's the thing. They put it in your face, letting you know, look, this is predictive programming. Okay, I forgot the name of the method, the method of the revelation, something like that. Revelation of the method, something like that. Where they're literally showing you, look, this is what we're finna do to you. That's like you get a cow and you show a cow on TV. What you gonna do to that cow to turn it into a cheeseburger? And the cow just watching. And then you take the cow, you start walking with the cow, and then you backwards. He's supposed to turn around and say, nah, you ain't taking me there. Because guess what? You take him to the same room that was shown on the TV. And that's these people. They're like the lost sheep to the slaughter. They don't pay attention to what's going on around the world. And it's going to get hot real soon. All right, let's jump into that.
This is an article from Zilla Hedge. Mark Zuckerberg building top secret Hawaii Doomsday bunker with blast resilient door.
Blast resilient door.
Blast resistant.
What? Yeah, blast resistant door. And he got the money to do it. You don't. So you're gonna be out here with cardboard trying to lock your doors and shit, put the little chain on it. When they tell you seek shelter, they don't mean that. When they tell you, because that's what they did. They try to transmit the emergency broadcast alerts. And it only happened for a little bit, but then eventually, everything stopped. Because all their services, their processes, all the inter-process communication, all that shit stopped. So no messages could be transmitted. And people find out, one of the guys was saying, he said, I'm a useless man. He says, without my phone, I'm useless. I said, look at this guy. And that's what they're telling you people, that you're useless. You're useless eaters. You're not resourceful. You don't know how to do anything. They don't know shit. But you know what the chick kept saying? She said, but isn't there like a power plant around here? She kept talking about a power plant. And she kept saying hackers can get into your power plants. And they can shut that thing down. Because once again, everything is automated now. If it has a computer system, it has software, it can be hacked. Okay? If it has a computer system and it has a software, it can be hacked. And they always, whenever another nation wants to topple the government of another nation, they always have an insider. That's how they get in. They always have an insider. So guess what? They have lots of insiders here already. That border was open for so long. I mean, there's so many different avenues that they can do shit. You know?
There's that book, Confessions of the Economic Hitman. And the dude is basically like an ex-CIA jackal. And they go in and they're sent with one mission, which is to destabilize the country. So you don't think that Esau has those, but the other nations don't? Just like Esau had the missiles and now the other nations, they had to elevate the warfare. Right? So the intelligence warfare, there's shit going on that we're not even aware of. We just know we go according to prophecy, so we don't need to know every single detail. Right? But we just know the major things. All right, well, this is economic woes. This is time of Jacob's trouble, so on and so forth.
Right? And guess what? Most of the things Esau gets from them. You know, a lot of these actual scientists and stuff. Some of them are from these other nations that Esau hires to do the job. You know, so this devil, I mean, he's unoriginal anyway. But as long as the job gets done, that's all he cares about.
A Wired investigation reveals Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is building a massive underground bunker with a blast-resistant door.
So people should be asking, why is Mark Zuckerberg building an underground bunker with a blast-resistant door? What does Mark Zuckerberg know that's making him do this? Maybe does he know something like them people in the movie knew when they started building their bunkers? Did he know something like that dude? I forgot his name. That he knew when, because guess what? When the chick, she went to the supermarket and she started buying regular groceries. She turns around and she sees my man stacking up his pickup truck with water, canned goods. Like he's stacking and stacking and stacking. She like, what's up with this guy? Because she didn't have no idea what was coming. And he looked at her, and his mind, he's probably like, you have no idea what's coming. And he did his thing and he left. You know?
Survive the end times.
Survive the end times. So everybody knows the vibration of the earth right now. Oh, matter of fact, you got to get that in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. There's a time for everything, and right now we're in a time of war. We're not in a time of peace. But you got a lot of people that are so, oh man, this is just crazy. They're going to be so through, man. When that moment of realization hits them, that level of panic, that's why you don't want to be in the cities. The scriptures truly, you know, are right when it says the cities are going to be troubled. But you're going to get that too.
For years, Zuckerberg has added hundreds of acres to his controversial 1,500-acre ranch in Kauai, Hawaii. Much of that has been known.
Why didn't he do it in New York City? Why didn't he do it in Albany? He went to Hawaii. Why? Huh. What?
Much of that has been known, but now new planning documents reveal a 5,000 square foot underground shelter equipped with own energy and food supplies is being constructed.
Why is that being? That's the question. What's Mark Zuckerberg doing, brother? What does he know? Why is he doing that? What is he preparing for?
According to the tech blog, citing public planning documents obtained through public records requests. Detailed planning documents obtained by Wired through a series of public record requests show the makings of an opulent techno Xanadu, complete with underground shelter and what appears to be a blast-resistant door.
Blast-resistant door. So he's pulling out all the stops. He ain't taking no chances. And when she hits the fan, guess where he's going? It's his bunker that he built. Where you going? Under your bed in your closet? Go on.
On the surface, the estate, also called Ulayu Ranch, will have two central mansions joined by a tunnel connected to the underground bunker.
You're going to have the two mansions. You're going to have that tunnel to his underground bunker. Typically, that's how you see it. They got the house and everything. Then there's some secret room. They got like the secret, strong-ass, safe-looking door, either with a passcode, and then you go up in there, that shit closes, and you go down, and damn near the bunker look more lavish than the freaking mansion itself. And it has to be. And then they just got like a whole hallway full of just like resources. flour, food, like, and they get the kind, they don't get no freaking fried chicken. No, you ain't gonna put fried chicken inside of an underground bunker, okay? Because that shit, what, 2 3 days, that shit is gone. It's expired. It's you know, it's destroyed. They put food that has a long shelf life, things that you can make, resources. If you want chickens, they'll probably create a freaking farm freaking in the underground bunker itself.
Have hydroponic, I think hydroponic underground farms that are like self-sustaining. So they can just literally have food being produced for years and years and years, because that's what they're planning for. They're thinking the missiles drop, they pop up on the surface after like some time, and they just take shit over, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. They use that symbology a lot. As we know, Yahweh Shai is going to come and be elected. Rip those blast doors open and find your ass, man.
Yeah, this guy, Magneto, from that X-Men. When he found their asses, he pulled that little, it looked like a big ass safe, and he just ripped that door open, and you can see them cowering up in there like they did no evil, like they're just these innocent people in there. Oh, no, who are you? You know, don't hurt us.
Magneto was right. Yeah. Magneto was in the right spirit. Xavier is the coon.
Yeah, it's all that.
They're always trying to save humanity. Humanity don't give a fuck about the X-Men. Yeah. And that's who that represents us.
They're hunting the humans and everything. This nigga's still trying to save them. Oh, man. That's why he lost his leg. Keep going.
Building documents also show the compound will be self-sufficient with its own power generation, food supplies, and a 55-foot diameter and a 18-foot tall water tank.
Yeah, so because one of the main things you got to worry about is food and water. Okay, obviously with shelter and protection, because you know today you got these what they call those things, transformers, I think, something like that. But you know they got those huge ass things that provide electricity to like a certain neighborhood or whatever, and it's like very 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 difficult to move one of those things. So when they got to replace one of those things, it takes a lot. You know, it takes a lot for them to replace one of them things. But that's how they're able to basically carry that electricity from one area to the other and so on and so forth. So a lot of these people don't get like solar panels, you know, where they can convert the heat from the sun into energy, and then they go from there. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can convert natural resources into actual energy or electricity. Okay, go on.
Wired noted, building permits put the price tag for the main construction at around $100 million.
$100 million. So look at that. Go on.
In addition to $170 million in land purchases, but this is likely an underestimate. It was revealed by several former contract workers at the ranch that everyone working there was bound by an NDA.
So you can't say what's going on over there. Mark has been real busy, huh? Haven't you, Mark? What you been doing over there, huh?
Let's talk about making the world more connected.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
Through destruction, while his ass is connected to the bunker.
Disconnected from his bunker,
Right.
connected amongst themselves.
Yep. Go on.
It's a fight club. It's Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club, said one anonymous former contract employee. Another former worker said the very strict enforcement of NDAs made anyone on site unwilling to take the chance to get caught, even taking a picture. Other billionaires like PayPal and Palantir founder Peter Thiel have built or been planning doomsday bunkers in remote places worldwide.
Oh, really? That's all. Why? Why? Wait. But these people act as though anybody that mentions an underground bunker is a conspiracy theorist, and then behind the scenes, they're doing the shit. So really, who they fooling? They ain't fooling us. They're fooling you. Because they don't want to spark the panic among the people. But they wouldn't even panic if panic was right in front of them. Go on.
There are several reasons why billionaires feared, worried about the future, and are compelled to build doomsday bunkers, some of which include spillover risk of the Russian-Ukraine war.
So they afraid that shit could get out of hand with the Russian-Ukraine war.
Possible regional conflict in the Middle East, imploding Western cities into crime-ridden hellholes, the surge in illegal migrants across West, deteriorating financial conditions in the West, and the list goes on and on.
The list goes on and on. You guys put that, we have to put that, like, after this, we get on Jeremiah 51 and 7 to 9. It feels as long as he's not here. This verse here,
Ecclesiastes 3 and 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war.
let's start at one of them. Okay.
Ecclesiastes 3 and 1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right, so there's always a time for everything, right? Under the heaven. Go on.
Says, if I made the fourth verse, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance.
There's a time to weep and a time to laugh. Here's the thing with a lot of these people today, they think every time is a time to laugh. They think every time is a time of mirth, a time to dance. There's a scripture in Isaiah that says that they're gonna drink, get the wine and drink today, and tomorrow's gonna be as this day. They think that the shit is just gonna continue as it is. The inward thought is that their cities are gonna continue forever. But the scriptures tell you there's a time for everything. And the time of Jacob's trouble is the time to weep and mourn for the world.
Jeremiah 51, where it mentions that they'll be drunk, that they may rejoice.
Right.
They're going to be in a mirthful spirit, and then the Lord is going to flip everything upside down.
That's right.
It says a time to love, 8th verse, and a time to love and a time to hate.
So right now the world is in a violent state. There's violence all about. And then when what happened right before the flood, the Lord said the world was full of violence. Hence he brought that judgment, that flood, to cleanse it out. So now there's a lot of hate in the world. You know? I saw a video of I think it might have been in India. And basically you had this individual where this woman, he was walking with her and she rejected his marriage proposal. And he basically slapped her, body slammed her, stomped her legs, stomped on her head like 3 times till she just like went unconscious. Then the nigga gonna pick her up and now he's worried. Talking about what's going on. I said, this nigga right here, bro. These heathens, bro. Shit. What the hell do you think would happen? You stomp on the head 3 times, I fucking foot is stiff. So what you think was gonna happen? You know? But just like that, in an instant, you know, they walking. You know, she said, Christ, that's something, no, I can't accept your marriage. Bitch! You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. All right. Okay, Elam. So there's a lot of hate in the world. You know, people don't got patience for nothing. Somebody will get out of his car and kill you over a parking spot just like that. So how much more in that time? What do you think people are going to be willing to do? And also, let's get that in 2nd Ezra 6 and 24. At that time, our friends fight one against another like enemies. So the whole point of the movie is it's not for entertainment. It's to show you something. You know, it's to open up your eyes to give you a picture in your mind of how things can possibly turn out. You know, due to just one event. The problem so when there's a cyber attack, for example, let's say one like in the movie that cripples everything. The main damage is not necessarily the attack itself. Yeah, it's going to take down, you know, signal, phones, GPS, all of those things. The main damage is what comes after, is the effect. When the lights go out, the problem is not the darkness. The problem is what people do in the darkness. When there's no food, yeah, famine is a problem. But what do people do when there's a famine? That's where the chaos comes from. So when a nation attacks another nation and they take out especially a nation like America, that everything is on technology, and they attack your infrastructure, they're doing that because they know it's going to collapse your system that's already on the brink of collapse.
Time of war and a time of peace.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Shalom, Yabashmir Shabrakatham. Yeah, I was going to say real quick, too, that's a very beautiful point, and we always bring this out, that, you know, society really, the only reason why society is the way it is because we have technology that aids to the comfort of women. That's the only reason. All right, if you eliminate technology, women really, you know, you be exposed. All right, because when you look at the real world and the real life, it only it's a machine that is oiled by men. That's it. All right, when you look at construction, right, when you look at politics, when you look at things that actually make this place run and creates a convenient state for women to actually live in, all right, it's all based on what? The work of men. Okay, the design of wicked men, really. Okay, these elites. All right, so once that comfortability through technology is removed, all right, you're gonna come down to the very level, all right, that you're not gonna be able to survive without a man's help. Okay, you got women now coming to that realization that damn, like we need a man. Like you can't just be in this world and be lonely and think you got it. You know, you can't do that. You can't be going jogging by yourself in the middle of the night. You can't do that. You know, so when time comes where you actually got to be outside in the middle of the night trying to escape or whatever it is that may be happening, you're gonna have that support of a strong man. You know, and a lot of women are not equipped to have that, all right, because of your fucking attitude, all right, your ill mannered ways of living, all right, your Babylonian lifestyle, all right, that's all gonna come back to bite you. Okay, so it's a preparation, all right, for the downfall of the Babylonian women. All right, just like how Babylon is going down, sad, that's how these women are gonna be. All right, but you got it.
Right, right, yeah, right.
Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken.
Yeah, so the Lord used Babylon to make the world drunken. Now, when you drunk, you're not thinking in your right mind per se. You know, you're inebriated. Your judgment is thrown off. Okay, and so you're not in your right state of mind. But when you get fully drunk, you get pissy drunk. Then you're off the hinges. Okay, but the point is, the Lord has used Babylon with her philosophies to pollute the minds of the world. And guess who's going to pay for that? Ain't the Lord. God.
The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean that they drunk the wine and they got pissed off. You know, like this nigga Bane when he gets that shot of venom. No. They're mad, meaning like they out of their First off, if you look at the ancient customs of these nations, Moab, Ammon, you know, first off, you go somewhere like South Korea, they just like the U.S. They follow the ways of Babylon, and that's why in the book of 2nd Ezra 16, the scriptures tell you, "Woe unto thee, Asia," because you're trying to be just like Babylon. And this place is the perfect example of wickedness. So the other nations, instead of retaining their integrity, you know, and their ancient discipline, they've all become corrupt just like this place. Modernized, new age, in the music, in the attire, in the TV shows, and the things they promote.
It's like when the dog is regular, you know, it'll come sniff things, maybe bark a little bit. But when you have a mad dog, it's foaming at the mouth, it's liable to be violent, to bite somebody, do some crazy shit because it's out of its element. It's lost its mind. Eighth verse. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain.
It's suddenly fallen. Just like them people got suddenly hit with that cyber attack and had no idea what was going on. Because a lot of people don't understand the infrastructure of the world they live in today. So if something goes wrong, they have no idea what's happening until the news comes and tells them, "Oh, this is what's going on." What if they check out the news and you can't find out anything?
You saw that in the movie. They started to scramble when they couldn't access information. It's like, yeah, especially the woman.
Yeah.
And then the woman spazzing out made the husband panic more because he said it himself. He's not a man.
Clay. Yep. Yeah, stress that dude out.
And they tried to follow the woman and they tried to leave Jake's house.
Yep.
And then what happened? They ended up coming back because that wasn't a smart idea. That was a dumb idea. Why would you go back through the city, the most congested place, in a time like that?
Yep. He said, "We're gonna go to New Jersey." No, okay. So the cyber attack hit New York. It didn't hit the U.S. It just hit New York. Your dumb ass gonna go to New Jersey? What you like? That's the thing that happens to people is you actually you find yourself in a situation that seems bad, but chances are it's much better than somewhere else. And in your haste to try and go to a better place, you end up in a worse situation. They could have got mangled right in between them Tesla cars. You know, boom. So that's what you get.
Hey, that goes to show you. That goes to show you the lack of women's judgment too. It goes to show you that women really shouldn't have that kind of liberty. You need to be under the guidance of a man, ultimately, because when you look at society today, like we said before, the structure is literally catered towards women. Is a flawed system that can't sustain. You know what I'm saying? It's just that facade of social media and all this shit that's what gives it the illusion that there's some type of order going on here. But it's really a state of decay at this point, and it's all going to be exposed as time goes on. When the reality comes in, that's when the state of decay actually starts to be exposed, because then you understand that, oh damn, like the cops really is a corrupt group of people all right, that set up things to make it seem like there's protection in society, right? Oh, there's peace. You know what I'm saying? Cops are really only effective in the time of peace, but in time of war, cops don't really mean shit. Okay, you can't pick up the phone and be like, I'm gonna call the police because you're abusing me. I'm gonna call the police because you're threatening my life. No, it's not gonna matter. Okay, 911. We always used to use this example, and now we're seeing it. All right, playing out. 911 is going to need 911. Okay, these states are not going to be able to, honestly, do anything to help the so-called American citizen, man. All right, they're not. The government is not there for you. They're not there to aid you. As a matter of fact, I just read an article. I believe it was yesterday. They said that the DHS updated their domestic terrorist watch list, and they said as of right now, there's over 2 million Americans who are on that list. Okay, that's just something that they just telling you. All right, the things that they're not telling you is 90% of the American population is on that domestic terrorist watch list. That includes you women. All right, all you people that be watching our videos. All right, you believe in so-called conspiracy theories, right? Because that's become the statement now. Everybody's into conspiracy theories, right? So they're gonna make sure that they come against the American people because now you are the enemy. Okay, so you could say, oh, whatever you guys are saying is just, oh, you guys are fear mongers. That's fine. All right, I got a quick precept to show you, all right, that everything we said that's coming to pass, those who are wise in the Lord are preparing for that. All right, we're not taking this as a joke. Okay, we know what's coming. These like you guys were saying, you got billionaires who are building bunkers. All right, they buy in different parts of the world to be able to escape the judgment that we're warning about. So if they're doing it, how much more you? Okay, if billionaires who actually run the world are listening to what's being said, paying attention to the signs of the times, and preparing accordingly, what are you people that are being warned? What are you really doing? Besides coming against us and listening to the BS propaganda that these billionaires are putting out there, what are you really preparing for? What are you really doing? Are you ready for what's coming? Huh? Because they're preparing. They're getting ready to put out their AI autonomous robots out there and then go hide in their bunkers and watch the disaster play out. You see? So what are people preparing for? All right, let's get Proverbs chapter 27, verse 12. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Okay? So you can't say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Well, you can call us whatever you want. Ultimately, we're the ones who are being prudent and we're foreseeing the evil that's to come and we're preparing for it. Okay, so that way when the time comes, we can call upon Yahweh Bashim Yahshua and say, Lord, you warned us of this. And we called upon your name, we stuck by you, and now here we are. And he's going to deliver us. Okay, we have full faith in that. But the rest of you, what are you going to do? Okay, you're not taking heed to the words of the prophets. What are you going to do when the day comes? All right, and that's all I got for now.
God, God is right. Isaiah 10 it also talks about that. What are you going to do in the day of visitation? They're not going to know what to do. Absolutely no clue. Absolutely no clue. And that's what the chick kept asking to do, right? So what do we do? You know, she went from G.I. Jane to now what do we do? And man, yo, here it is. They started drinking and shit. And he talked about he was going to win her over. And so he takes her to the music library. He's trying to find some good music and shit. This demon gonna find she gonna pull out some song that's like so provocative. I forgot the shit, but there's some sexual type song, and she gonna put that on there. I'm like, you see where she try to take shit, man.
And I go to show you, the Edomite woman is really gonna want Jake, because where was the protection with Jake? It was wicked, but there was like a deep symbolism behind that as well.
Right.
Jeremiah 51:9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Yeah, ain't no way to heal this place, man. It's been prepared. That's what the Lord has been doing all these years. He's been preparing this place, dressing it up nicely, feeding it like that fat calf that you fatten it up like Hansel and Gretel. How the witch basically was fattening up Hansel and Gretel so she could stuff them in that oven for dinner. So as it's saying, we would have healed Babylon, making it better, make America great again. But nothing they're trying is working, because at the top they make it look like they're trying to help this place, but at the top of the ladder they're not. The whole point is to topple the world governments, okay, so that they can level everything. And once they level everything, they can centralize it. And who's going to be at the top? Them. So everything comes up to them. That's why they have bodies like the BIS. And then they place central banks all in these different countries. And guess what? They're all moving in the same agenda of digital currencies.
Quantitative easing.
Yep.
I was gonna say that's why the name of the movie is called "Leave the World Behind" because they want to leave this world behind to start over with their new world order where they have complete control over everything. And what's gonna be the main, I'll just say the god of it is Satan because when you look at if you was to look at I guess the poster of the movie where it says "Leave a World Behind" has all the actors' names, Julia Roberts, and you have the B. Then I think it's Mahershala Ali, and there's the A. If you look at going down, there's Ethan Hawke. He has an A in there, so it's BAA, and I don't know how you said the young chick's name, but then she has an L in there, so it's Baal. So what's the god behind that? It's Satan. That's what's going to be the new world. It's going to be run by pretty much going to be the energy of Satan.
They threw all that out there, threw it all out there, and people just right over their heads. For those that even took the time to watch it, right over their heads. You people are preparing yourself for the worst kinds of painful realizations, man. But it's a beautiful thing, though.
I was going to also that whole cyber attack is also about isolation because at the beginning that remember I think it was broken up into 4 parts.
Yeah.
The first part is what? That's to isolate people, to have people by themselves, no communication. And what's communication? Not communication amongst each other. That's fine. They want you to communicate amongst each other because eventually, when you start running out of food and things like that, you're gonna start looking to other person like, yo, what if you got something? I know you've been like, because you know you may got them like rich chicks that always buy things, always buy nice things that people see you come into place. So it's like, I know you got some nice stuff. Let me come at you. And then nah, sorry, I'm out of stuff too. It's like, I know you got some. And then eventually that starts forming in the mind. That comes, if I'm not mistaken, 2 Ezra 15. Man shall have no pity upon his neighbor because of the lack of breath. So really it's isolate you, but it's to isolate you from the normalities of life. They really want you together so that way you can start tearing at each other. And I think the guy said that, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if it was Kevin Bacon's character said that or Mahershala Ali's character that said that.
The black guy, Jeep Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said that. He was in the car with the other dude and he was saying it.
Okay, so yeah, and then also what you call it? When he was telling the chick about the guy that he was with, he has like a friend or whatever that be making these funny jokes. When I saw that, when I was watching that, the first thing that came to mind was Aaron Russo and Nick Rockefeller. And I was thinking about Elder Apostle Mark. I'm like, he always mentions Aaron Russo and Nick Rockefeller. So I feel as though they put that in the movie as, because you always mention that, we're going to put that in the movie.
So much. They need to slide us a check. Yeah, facts.
Hey, I heard the movie was actually directed by Obama. Right? He has a role to play in it. And it's funny because there was a movie that came out on him a few years ago. I believe it was 2016. What's that?
Where they had the prophets in the background and he was walking past?
Yeah. I believe the name of the movie was Barry, if I'm not mistaken. Because that's his actual name, Barry Soetoro. So, like, sodomite nigga. But basically, he's came in contact with the prophet. So I wouldn't be surprised because I believe he also owns a huge part of Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. So it's definitely going into big time witchcraft, big time predictive programming, which is all part of their witchcraft, right? Revelation of the method. So they tell you all these things because they watch what the prophets say. They go into the scriptures, they match it up. They're like, yup, they're on point. Put it out there so the people know because they have to warn the people before they come out and actually do these things. So the warning is out there. Whether you getting it from the prophets or whether you getting it from the media, you're still getting the warning. You just got to know that this is all real and it's coming, whether you like it or yes. All right.
That's right. That was the basis of Vocab Malone's book, Barack Obama versus the Hebrew Israelites. And it was kind of like off that whole thing. So they know. And we know. And we know they know we know.
The next movie, if it comes out next year, Civil War. So think about that. Here they give you a movie where they isolate people they want you behind, and then what's the next movie coming out that's called Civil War? What is that? That means they want you to fight amongst each other so that way they ain't got to really do the work. You people do the work where you kill each other and things like that. It's still like your brother, but at least it ain't me. I'm sorry for saying that. But goddamn it, I'm so sorry. But finally,
that's why they started that movie.
Finally, they ain't fucking me today.
Yeah, man. But even in the first movie, they said that. They said that the dude was saying that the 3 steps, and he said that if it works well, they're not gonna need to do anything. The people gonna do it for them. And then the last part he mentioned was Civil War. And then guess what? You got that other movie coming out called Civil War. So why are the theme of these movies like this? You know, what's going on in the world?
And in an election year.
Right. And now they opening inquiry into this nigga Biden, the impeachment inquiry into Biden. Same thing they did to Trump right before election year. You know, coincidence? I think not. They don't do shit by coincidence. Got it.
Jeremiah 51:9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
So this place, there ain't no coming back for this place. All right, it's going down. It's circling the drain, and it's going fast. Go on.
Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies.
Yeah. So guess what? Ultimately, what's going to be that judgment, that destruction? Okay. Y'all doing that? All right, let's get that in 2nd Ezra 16 and 24, and then let's get 15. Oh, 6 and 24. 6 and 24. And then 15. That's right.
This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another. Like enemies.
Yeah, let's actually start up at 22.
2nd Ezra 6 and 22. And it reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown.
What are the sown places? Well, when you sow something, that's when you plant. Okay? And so the farms, the place, because that's really where it originates. There's a certain time of the year, the farmers plant, another time of the year, they reap, and then the things that they harvest, guess what? Them big ass companies come and pay the farmers for it, they take it to their factories, they go and manufacture it, and then they start shipping it to these supermarkets, and then sell it to these customers. So you have a system, a chain of how things go. But if it starts here, if it's the sown places are going to be unsown, that's a cause concern of famine. Okay, and it says suddenly. Go on.
The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
There you go. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And like I said, in the movie, they show the perspective of this family. They were in a rich ass mansion area and so on and so forth. And they didn't even show maybe 2-3 weeks in. They just show like the first week. So imagine they show 2-3 weeks in when food became scarce. But at least they had all that deer on them. You know, so they go, they're all right, you know, they pop one of them deers and, you know, do something with that. But in the cities, if they show the perspective from if they were in the cities, you would have seen real hell on earth. From even just standing off the coast and looking across, seeing the smoke and all of that, you can only imagine how bad it was over up in there, man. You got everybody that wants to run up into the cities and all that. The cities are not a safe place, okay? That's going to be the worst place to be. So as it says, the storehouses are going to be found empty, suddenly empty. Everybody's going to try to go there for food to try and forget about purchasing things. Who the hell is going to be standing at the register? The cashier himself is going to be over the register stealing shit for himself. Because guess what? All these people that do their jobs, they're still people. So you work, right? You got a job, whatever it is. Maybe you're a contractor, maybe you're a lawyer. When all hell breaks loose, are you going to be trying to do your job? No. You're going to be trying to get goods and resources and protect yourself and your family. Why do you think a police officer is going to want to do his job when that time comes? The same way you got a job, but you ain't going to be worried about your job. He got a job, but he ain't going to be worried about it. He's trying to protect your family, but his family's in danger. Nah, dog.
To add on to the point, the reason why cities are not going to be safe is because it's going to be congested. It's going to be a lot of people. Think about, like, if you ever been in Manhattan. Manhattan's just like a whole bunch of people. You can't even walk to the. So imagine if it's like that when it's busy, when it's normal, that's normal. Imagine when things are heightened, when it's out of control, how people going to be moving each other out the way, how they're going to be fighting. What was that dude? You told me about that he said he was gonna sell the fake PS5. I mean, not fake PS5. He had a whole bunch of people come around. He said he was gonna give out PS5s.
Is it yeah, him,
Yeah.
that guy.
Didn't you tell me they punched the lady or something? Was punching everybody? That's for a PS5. How much more for actual food that you gonna need?
They're gonna be wilding in that place, man. It's gonna be like you're gonna be like Mufasa in the Lion King when them whatever animals they were. The stampede happened. That's how them people gonna be over there. And the second you fall down, you're dead. You're dead. You're gonna have women with high heels right up into the side of your dome. Boom, boom. You know, people with construction workers with steel boots. You know, stop them in the nuts. You know what I'm saying? You mess up and you fall on your back, it's over, bro.
There was y'all remember Hurricane Sandy hit, and during that time there was no gas. Motherfuckers started losing their mind just over that. Motherfuckers in Brooklyn got shot over gas in the gas line. Like, he pulled a strap. Fuck this, I'm getting mine. I'm gonna go for mine. Motherfuckers ain't gonna play in that day because everybody's gonna be on edge, and it's gonna be like life or death situations. So when people in life or death situations, they're gonna be willing to risk their lives to survive.
And that's when you're gonna see the stupidity in a lot of people. Like during the time when I think the hackers targeted was it Colonial Pipeline or something like that, and then the gas became scarce. You had some dumbass with a pickup truck. I don't know if I forgot if they were filling up gallons to put it in the back of the truck, or if they were just pouring the gasoline in the pickup truck
Right in the back.
in the trunk.
It was like pouring out while they drove
while they were
off.
driving and shit. And I'm looking, oh, this nigga, first off, you don't waste everybody in the line time and resources doing some stupid shit like that. And you gonna really see, like, I mean, people are a lot of people are stupid now, but in that time, when there's like panic, you're gonna see real stupidity come out. You gonna ask somebody, why the hell would you make a suggestion like that? We heard shots over there. Let's go check it out. Everybody gonna stop to look at this nigga like, why the hell would you? Ooh, yo, close your mouth, bro. You're not talking for the rest of the while. Huh? No, I don't think it blew up, but it might have, or it should have. I don't know. Who's in here, right?
Verse 23.
Oh, and also there was that scene where he was driving. He saw that Spanish lady, you know, and she's talking about, shit's going wild. Yo, when you saw her face and her eyes while she was like asking for help, she was so desperate. She's like, yo, don't leave me here right now.
I looked at what she said. She said she got lost from her family and things like that. And she was like, thank you. That's what, like, senor and all that. She was like, thank you. You're the first person I've seen in a while. And I lost my family and things like that. She was explaining to him that there's the plane dropping red stuff. And then another part that she explained to him, I think she was trying to warn him, don't go somewhere or something like that. But then he couldn't understand Spanish and things like that. So it was
yeah. She's like, yo, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what's going on. He's panicking. He's bugging out. So don't expect mercy from people in that time. But then again, too, you also got to be wise and know who, you know what I'm saying, who you can and cannot help. And that's where the Spirit is going to direct you. Because there may be certain people that you help them and it really becomes a curse and a burden onto you. You know, and then there may be others where the Lord will put the Spirit on you to help them. But just know that in that time, people are not going to be willing to help you. People don't, the natural mindset of people is they're not looking to, don't try to appeal to somebody's mercy. Don't try to appeal to their gratitude or, no. You need to get them like a barter. What can I get from you? Because when they went to that dude with the shotgun, and they told him, please, but they ain't trying to hear that shit. He said, get the fuck off my property. They had to barter. Give him something that he might be interested in. That's the only talk people are going to want to hear in that time. So if you're a woman and somebody, you on the street side and somebody stops their car, just know that it's not because it's out of the goodness of their heart. There's something they want that you have. And that's the only reason they're stopping the car. Because you are an extra mouth to feed. You are an extra body to protect. You are a liability. Okay? You're not stronger than this person. So what are you going to bring to them that's going to make them say, you know what, it's worth it to keep her around? You're going to bring whatever them other dudes can't bring.
she looks good or whatever.
That's
what other men don't look at that they want that.
That's it. Yeah. So it's going to be, man, in that time, man, as it says, it's going to be a lot of problems you got to worry about. Plus, you got to worry about her resources, because remember, they're more high maintenance. And they're going to be complaining to who? Not to themselves, to you. If they're hungry, they're going to come to you. If they catch their monthly cycle, they're going to come to you. If shit ain't going right, they're going to come to you. And here it is, you already stressed.
But in a sense, that's also good thing about it. It's what that's showing now everything's going back in its order. No more, I'm just going to go to, no more, I don't need a man. The crashing of society, the breaking down of society is going to show women that they need a man, that they're going to come back to a man. So yeah, it'll be irritating. but it is actually necessary for that because what? It's bringing things back into order.
So that's Isaiah 4:1. So really, Jacob's trouble should be themed back to the past. Because that's what's going to happen. Everything is going to go back to the actual way it's supposed to be. The natural order is going to be instilled in the time of Jacob's trouble. You know? No, go ahead.
Because now think about it. In those times as well, right now, if you tell your woman to do something, or she asks you something, she might have an attitude about something. But in them times, when that atmosphere, the way that atmosphere is going to be, she's not going to be arrogant and think like the picture you sent her today. I need a man. Listen here, Batman. You know that. Nah, it's not going to be like, she's not going to have that rough voice to you and things like that. So even in that time, women are going to know how to talk to men. Because right now, women don't know how to talk to you and things like that. They don't know how to express their femininity. So Jacob's trouble is going to show them how to express that through violence. It's going to be like, listen, if you don't talk to me a certain way, I'm just going to leave you. There's no obligation. This is like every man for themselves. I don't have an obligation to be nice to you, to help you, to do things for you. I don't have the obligation. I just leave you and go. So you need to make sure that you act right, or else you're gonna get left. And see, right now, if you were to tell a woman, if you don't act right, I'm gonna just leave you. She's like, fine, I'll find another man. It's okay. What you don't want or what you don't do, another man will do. And that time, they're not gonna have that type of attitude because they're not gonna know. Oh no, hell no. What if I don't find a man like you? What if I don't find a man that can do the things that you can do? She's not going to want to take that chance at all. Women are willing to take that chance because what?
I got a quick precept.
Because they have a whole bunch of men DMing them, and they always have another man on the side. When all the men are probably dead, no more DMs, no more Instagram, no more Facebook, no more none of that. Now who you gonna go to?
For child support. To go to the so-called white man to get help.
Yeah.
Hey, quick precept. This is the book of Micah, chapter 7, and verse 10. It says, "Then she that is mine enemy shall see it." And what she gonna see? She gonna see the same prophecies that's written of in the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, that though it tarry, wait for it. Because the tarrying part that everyone is pretty much waiting for has cast a lot of doubt in a lot of people, on the unbelievers' minds, right? Oh, you guys have been saying this since this time, and you guys have been saying this every time. Every year you guys say it's gonna be the end. Oh, here we go again with this. It could be right in their face and they're still gonna deny it because it hasn't hit them yet. Okay, but it'll get there. So scripture says, "Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, Where is the Lord Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down in the mire of the streets." Okay, boy, enough. All right. So again, going back to brother's points, that when calamity hits, these women gonna be literally stomped out in these streets. Okay, because they're gonna be caught out there. All right, a lot of them gonna be caught out there. A lot of you single, independent women who, you got your nice high paying jobs. You got your you got your own independent lifestyle. You're doing all this Atlantic City visits. All right, you going to LA. You just chilling. You just traveling around the world and then just banking off of rich people's money. Well, guess what? That time is coming. Okay, these niggas gonna come to collect. All right, the tax master is coming to collect, and now what you gonna do? You've been loaning out all this fucking money. Now it's time to collect. Now you coming in with excuses? Well, it's coming. It's coming. But yeah, I just wanted to put that in there real fast.
They'll come for that thing, But yeah, they'll also see a boot coming up right up into their face, as they get their ass stomped out. These women are unruly. There was a video I was watching by the other brother Karatza from Vegas, and he pretty much had these two young hoes went on the girl trip to Miami, came back pregnant. What the fuck? What type of shit? Oh man, damn shit, man. Let's go ahead, bro. If the Lord got you coming through a vessel like that, that's some hell, man.
Second Ezra 6:23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid.
Yeah, and the trumpet is to be an alert. Like in the ancient world, like today you got alarms, right? In the ancient world, you had trumpets, and they made certain sounds that were to notify you of certain events. So in this time, when them trumpets or them different alerts go off, people gonna be shook up. they're gonna be like when the wife was suspecting the Jake, GH, I think that was his name, and as he was, it's funny, right? Because they really played it there because they made him sound sus as hell. You know, she probably asked him for his ID. Yeah, you ain't gonna believe it, but you know, I think I left it when I said, they're like, yo, you sound mad sus right now, bro. But right then and there, the daughter turned on the TV and there was that emergency broadcast alert. And then everybody's like, oh shit, you know, they're saying this is not a, you know, not a test, you know, it ain't a drill. This is X, Y, and Z. And them things are coming back in full force. So you're gonna hear alarms going off, cars alarm, and do not try to get on them highways, man, because you're gonna be stuck. If you're gonna be sandwiched in like rows of cars, you know, and you ain't going nowhere. You're gonna be stuck right up in there unless you're finna walk. Anyway, go ahead.
Verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies.
So in the scene, what happened? You ended up having the dude draw his gun against the other dude with the shotgun, and they were supposed to be cool. Because when he first came, he said, "Yo, we cool, man."
Yeah, Danny, it's me.
Yeah, Danny is me. You know me. You don't know. And he said, "You ain't thinking right." He said, "Look, you're not thinking right. You're not in your right mind." I'm gonna tell you a little something. All this stuff must have got your mind confused. But in this time, it ain't Danny no more. All right, it ain't Danny. You know me no more. Now back the fuck up. Oh shit! And that's what you're gonna be seeing. You know, you gonna run up to your somebody you thought you cool with, and the dude gonna look at you like, who you? You know, back up before I put a hole in your melon.
Hey, also remember, take those praise. Now remember too, because a lot of people are gonna be on edge because of the trust factor, right? A lot of people nowadays don't trust each other, you know, because of all this stupid social media shit. Everything is like a game. So you might have a next door neighbor who might come around and try to rob you on some like, oh, it's just for TikTok, but he's dead ass robbing you just because he wants to put it on you know, do all that clout shit. So a lot of people are on game like, no, if you pop into my crib, I don't care if you're looking for help or you trying to help me. You better come in correct because I'm not allowing that shit. I'm not coming here to play games with you. Like, this is my protection. This is my zone. So when the time comes, unless you're in my immediate family, even people gonna be looking at each other in the immediate family or something like, yo, you know, like looking at each other funny because it's prophecy. You know, they're gonna be selling each other out, you know, because it starts at work. Trust and believe that snitch activity starts at work. When they say, oh, if you see suspicious behavior, oh, you know, so it's already embedded in people's minds. So soon they just have to disseminate some FF that happens in America or around the world, and it puts everybody on edge. And now it's see something, say something. If you hear this, say this. If you know, it's gonna put people on edge. Where when you come around, everybody's gonna be like, listen, I don't know what energy you come in with because again, it's happening on a subconscious level. You know, when you meet people even today, right now, you don't really say too much because you don't know where their mind is at. You know, you don't know if they're on some like I support TGs and Satanism and all this shit. You know, and or where their mind is at. So you always on some reserved energy, like, all right, let me just, you know, I'm gonna listen more. I don't know you, so I'm gonna listen to what you gotta say, what energy you come in before I can even engage. You know, and then when all hell breaks loose, that energy is going to be heightened. So it's not gonna be I'm just stepping back to listen. It's gonna be listen, if you come around, I'm gonna blow you back, fall back. You know, and that's how it's just gonna be. You know, violence on all fronts. You know, you brothers mentioned about you have election year, you got this movie coming out called Civil War. All right, what these two things are going to lead to what? Martial law. It's a succession of things, you know, and it's all planned out and it's now playing out. The plan is being played out right now. All right, get ready for more demics. All right, because they're not going to sign no who that a core treaty for no reason. There's a reason for that. Now they have to be justified in signing that. So get ready for the justification. It's coming. All right, it's
Yeah.
coming. So get ready. You know.
Violent crisis. Violent crisis. Keep going in that.
And the earth shall stand in fear with them.
Well, actually, the main part was that. Let's jump down to the second edge 15. We were reading over there. We're gonna come back to 16.
This is 2 Esdras 15 and 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods.
Yeah, because in that time, don't expect people to have pity and mercy and I got don't try to appeal to that side of people because they don't have it now. They don't have it now. Somebody will watch you get stomped out in the streets, take out their phone, record, and then say, "Yo, that's crazy," and then call it a day. All right. So They're gonna be on the phone telling you, "Oh, somebody getting stomped out right in front of me. Yo, that's crazy. They're asking for help, bro. What should I do?" That's how people sound now today. They can't make decisions for themselves, you know. So in that time, don't expect them to come to your aid. That's not how it works. There might be one or two people that try to do that, and they might end up getting messed up, getting hit in the back of the head with a bat. Go on.
Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
That's gonna be one of the primary causes. Lack of bread, meaning you don't have food. That when you don't have food, that causes people to go into a state of primalism. All right, and in that time, they're not willing to reason. They just want to eat. Go on.
That's when they start thinking outside the box.
That's
Innovative
it.
ways of living.
That's it. You get
Cannibalism.
creative. That's right. Oh no, read that 19 again.
Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword.
So you ain't gonna be able to trust your neighbors, right? You gonna need to put your trust in your Shai. But that's reserved for the elect. So a lot of people are gonna find themselves in a screwed up situation where you can't get help from Esau, you can't trust your neighbors, you don't know what to do. Then you want to begin your journey of repentance. But it's gonna be too late at that point. Okay? Go on.
And spoil their goods.
Yeah, they're gonna spoil your goods, meaning everything you got, they're gonna come up in there, whether they know you got it or not. They're gonna come up in there and check. And guess what? People can be considered goods. And a lot of people, like I said today, are not resourceful. People don't know about health. They don't know about the herbs. They don't know about, medics. They're not resourceful. A lot of people are not even strong. There's a lot of people out there that are weak as shit. That's in look. The world caters to people so much. I think now they're saying on planes, if you over a certain size and one seat can't fit you, they're gonna give you another seat next to you, just good. Even if there's no more space on the plane, they're gonna give you that extra seat to accommodate for your weight. So what they do is they don't try to get people to do something about themselves. Instead, they just say, just do what you want to do, and we'll cover for it. So people are weak. People are weak physically. They're weak mentally. They're weak spiritually. You tell somebody, yo, all right, I need you to lift up this side so I can lift up this side. Don't count on that. Go on. They bent out of shape. Don't eat right. Hungry as shit. You got to watch those kind of people, man, because here it is. You might plan, all right, this is going to last us a week. And next thing you know, 2 days later, it's almost done because this nigga he keeps coming back. You give him breakfast and he comes back for 2 rounds. You give him lunch, he comes back for 3 rounds. You don't give him dinner and he sneaks in and takes it anyway. You got to watch dudes like that. Go on. Like them raccoons. That's what raccoons do. I think you sent me that video. Nigga, raccoon came on his 2 hands with his feet up in the air, trying to sneak up in there and grab some shit. And they bold as hell. They see you eating, they gonna come up to you slowly, like you can't see them. And then they gonna, it's slowly like 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you don't stop the nigga, he's gonna keep taking and then run away. Go ahead.
Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Yeah, so when people are hungry, like the Snickers commercial, you're not true when you're hungry. People are willing to kill to eat. And if they're gonna kill you, and if you don't got resources, you become the resource. They did it during the ancient world. Okay, kids, them kids gotta watch out. Children will be surprised that some of their number one enemies will be their parents. You're gonna have some parents, especially these women, because you got a lot of women that have children, but they're not actually mothers. They're just women with children. They don't have any motherly instincts or attributes. Females, they're females with children. What do you think is gonna happen when they get hungry? They only think about. There was a woman that had a baby, left the baby at home, went out for like 3 days to party, and came back, and I think the baby died or some shit. So she can't even think of the fact that she at home. There's another woman that's pregnant. This bitch went and put on a waist trainer talking about pregnancy ain't gonna stop her from living her life. So that's the mindset these women go about in. You mean to tell me that when that time of famine comes, they ain't gonna eat their children? You forgot about your child for 3 days to go and party, and now when it comes, because you put you first, I gotta put me first. So when the time comes and you're hungry as shit, you're gonna start thinking like the brother said. You're gonna think out the box. You're gonna look at your child, and you're gonna start thinking out the box. Start getting a little creative. You're gonna look up in there. You got the pan, you got the oil. You just don't got the resource. You don't got the meat.
Hey,
So
and and that's why America is being brought down to that level of depravity, moral depravity, and poverty. Okay, those two things are going hand in hand because I believe in I want to say Wisconsin. All right, they have a huge so-called blood donation bank over there. I believe the company's name is CSL Plasma. All right. And you know what they do? Esau being the wicked devil that he is, what he does is that he purposely opens these blood banks in Jake neighborhoods that are poor. All right, I believe it's in Ohio. That's where it is. All right. And Jake living in those neighborhoods are broke. They're poor. So Esau purposely sets up blood donation banks in a poor neighborhood, knowing that Jake is gonna come up and donate blood to make some money, right? So they come in, they say, okay, look, if you pump, this much blood or whatever, right? This how much money you're gonna get paid for. Jake come in, he say, okay, I give you how many, pints of blood a day or a week, I get $20. And what do Jake in those kind of poor neighborhoods? What do they do? They're all strong on drugs, so they come in is like, I need to get my fix. You see this the psychological demonic entity Esau really be tapping into. So he sets up in a place where he knows there's a high addiction for drugs. He deals with the drug dealers. He actually brings I forget the name of K2, I think is the name of the drug. It's some crazy name like that. Ketamine something. And he got Jake strong on that shit, super highly addicted to that shit. And they got the drug dealer in the corner, right, right, literally right across the street from the blood donation spot. So Jake goes, donate the blood. They get the quick $20. Then they go straight to a drug dealer across the street to get their fix. So now they got to come back. Oh shit, I want my fix. Well, you need the bread. Well, you got to come donate some more blood so you can go get your fix. You see, it's a sick psychological game, and they send the blood all the way out into Europe for all the rich people that actually need the fucking blood. You see, and then you got Jake over here string out on drugs, sitting out here in poverty, dying. You know, and this is what Esau does. They making millions and billions of dollars off of that plasma shit, man. Okay, it's a huge money making industry, and they're doing it off of the backs of what? The poor. Okay, they put us in a situation where we have no choice but to give in, and that's exactly what they're doing on a grand scale here in America. Okay, you're gonna have people selling their organs, all right, just to make ends meet. Okay, again, they're doing it now, but soon it's gonna be the grand scale where it's like, all right, this is just what it is. Cannibalism. People gonna have to eat each other. You're gonna have to sell your body parts, okay, just to make ends meet. You got student loans you got to pay. Chicks gonna start throwing themselves out there. Fuck work, because you working 3, 4 jobs, you can still barely make ends meet. And it looks like increasingly the governments are increasingly opening up and creating. Oh no, this way. Come here. The governments and these states are increasingly coming up with all these draconian policies that doesn't do anything to help the American people. It's all helping these corporations, man, and making your life a living hell. Your rent is going higher and higher, right? You get no tax breaks. Your taxes are going higher and higher. Inflation is at an all-time high, okay? But yeah, your government is telling you that this is the best it's ever been. There's jobs. What jobs? Robots are taking everything over. What are you talking about? So for those who can't see the decay in the way in which we're living in right now, you weren't meant to see it. All right, and the destruction that freight train is coming straight for you. All right, it's coming straight for you, man. We're not gonna feel bad. We're not gonna feel bad. All right, we're just gonna sit back and watch because again, that exclusive access to the Lord is only reserved for the elect. So when we were talking the importance of the elect, now you're gonna see why we kept emphasizing the importance of being of the elect. Because now you know that only the elect are gonna have access to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai in those days. And that's the only way you're gonna have a way out. All right, is if you're of the elect. All right. So I just want to bring that in there that Esau got a sick plan and is already in motion, is only going to intensify. All right, but you got, hey, and Kissinger even said it. He said if you bring the world to his knees by controlling the food system. 2 years ago, all we heard about was what? The food supply chains and all this extra shit. You think that just disappeared out of nowhere? No, it's all building up to a culmination of disaster, and it's coming.
seriously,
I also like to add to that point real quick. In the movie The Hunger Games, the newest one, there was a scene where the people from the other districts came and they were taken into a zoo to be seen as a spectacle. and they were really hungry because they hadn't eaten for days after that long train ride. And then one of the reporters from the city came and was like, this is how they get you, because food could be a powerful weapon. It can make them docile and obedient. And you have over here the rich kids playing with the people from the other districts, making them look as animals. And then also, scriptures say there's nothing new under the sun. So in the book of Second Kings, when Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria, had went to besiege Samaria, you had these two women that both agreed to boil and eat their son because there was no food, because they were being besieged. And that after they had agreed to it, they ate one son, and then the next day, the other mom had hit her son. So that goes to show you that in the times we're coming in, the woman will actually want to eat their children, because it happened once before, so it will surely happen again, because there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, it happened many times. You know, even in the siege of Jerusalem, they try to eat their belts, shoes, tree bark, you know, whatever they can find, because that's how desperate you become. Yeah, it's like on a low level, you experience that when if you wait till you get hungry before you go into your kitchen to try and make something, you're gonna end up eating something that you didn't plan to eat. You're gonna get so hungry, you'll fuck this shit. Give me some. I'm gonna eat a plain slice of bread, you know, with water or some shit, whatever. Like you're that hungry, you put butter, you know, whatever, peanut butter, bread, whatever you can find, just to calm down a bit. You ain't gonna have enough time to want to cook. I ain't trying to wait till cook. So that's what's gonna happen, but on a low level. But in reality, it's gonna get to the point where you're not reasoning right. You're like, yo, you know, I really know I should have a complete meal, a nice balanced diet, but I'm too hungry to want to do all that right now. In that time, you're gonna say, look, I need food, and there ain't nothing else to eat. But I mean, meat is meat, right? I gotta think out the box. And then that's when your child starts looking at you funny, like, yo, what's up? Why are you looking at me like that, honey? It's time to teach you a valuable lesson about life. Anyway, yeah, let's get that. What we at? Second measure 16? 15. We finished 15, right? Okay, I'll find this.
Yeah, Genesis 41:17, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river.
It's my dream. Okay.
And behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat fleshed and well favored.
Are cattle. All right. Go on.
In the NLT, it says healthy cows.
That's right.
Fat fleshed and well favored.
So they were thick with 3 seats. Go ahead.
And they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill favored and lean fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness.
Yeah, so you know, like there's certain times when you'll see like, you know, cows. You know, we see that a lot. You know, in Ghana, you see like like on the even by the roadside, you see like a dude walking with a staff. You see like a whole herd of cows following his ass, all different sizes and shit. Big ass, yo, them cows are big. You know, cows ain't no small animals. But some of them you'll see like they're decent, but some of them you'll see like they're very, very skinny to where you can see like their bones from their rear end. You can see like their bone structure and all that shit. So that's what he's talking about. They're very lean, you know. Tell him, yeah, sir.
Oh, no, it's true.
No, you bring it back.
That one part in the movie with the Tesla when they was driving into each other. Something from the summer. This is Second chapter 15, verse 17. It says, "A man shall desire to go into the city, and shall not be able." That's the picture that I saw when I saw them crossing each other, because they couldn't go back into the city because that prevented them. So, you know, sometimes you may think like one movie that comes to mind is The Dark Knight Rises, when Bane took control of the city, blew up the bridges, nobody in, nobody out. Well, a way that they can stop you from going in the cities is like with the Tesla thing that they showed right there in the movie. And we have Tesla in real life, so they could just have them self-automated cars. Oh, there's a malfunction because, you know, cyber attack. So they all just crash into each other, and they're all crashing in right where you have to go into the city. Now you can't go back into the city. And now anybody who's in the city is locked from leaving the city.
Yeah, it's the Nine Desert. They try to all get off that off the. He said, no. Calm your ass down. You ain't going nowhere. Stay your ass over here. See, cyber attacks can be very meticulous. You know, meticulous, whatever the word is, where they can specifically target certain things. Like you said, they can specifically target electric cars. Just push for electric cars and just alter the software. It's called reverse engineering. Because a lot of these companies, when they write software for these different things, they use like real time, because they need their software to be able to have the car say there's something in front, stop right now. If there's a bug in the system and that shit is like, let me wait and send a report back to the manufacturer, the person in the car is dead. So they need that operating system to react right then and there. Typically, the company, like if it's like Tesla or whatnot, they're not like Google. They're not gonna come out and give you their actual source code, meaning the code they actually wrote for this. When you get the, like, if you were to get the actual maybe like you download a certain program from the internet, you open and installs on your system, you don't get the actual code for what it does. You get the code that runs, so they're able to transform that. The point is, hackers are able to take the actual transformed code, reverse it back into source code that they can read, alter it, and then compile it back into the runnable code. So they can enter your system, reverse that shit, and see, oh, okay, this is the part of your code that says the car should be able to detect anything in front of it and stop. This is the part that engages autopilot. This is the part that stops the car and runs the car. Cool. I'm gonna now say, run the car, don't stop no matter what, just keep running. And I'm gonna plug that in there and say, all right, there you go. Next thing you know, your car's just turning on out of nowhere, like in the movie. She turned around, she see that shit coming, and it's picking up speed. Because guess what? In these self-driving cars, you don't need to step on the gas for the car to move. It does that on its own. Because when you step on the gas, there's some mechanics happening on inside of the car, and it involves software. That's why you don't have to manually switch the gear to go from one speed tier to another. So when that shit says go, they mean 0 to 100 go. Oh,
Back in Genesis 41 and 19, I read it in NLT. But when I saw 7 sick-looking cows, scrawny and thin, come up after them, I've never seen such sorry-looking animals in all the land of Egypt.
That's it. Now, real quick, I think brother said he has something.
Yeah, I was going to add on to what you were saying about this is the concept where you have fully autonomous weapons come in, right? Because
Right.
now you have self-driving cars. Everything is pretty much like technology is doing its own thing. Like now you can have a device. If you have a pool, you have a device that you put in the pool and it cleans out the pool on its own. AI, like it's a machine that does everything. So the importance of people is really almost obsolete at this point. The most jobs that women really do is almost obsolete because you got robots doing it. But again, this is all leading. You got the Pentagon investing billions of dollars into fully autonomous weapons. Things that we were saying a decade ago. All right, it's crazy how time is flying, but these are all coming to pass. And this is all going into the Lord sharpening the sword. The a sword being furbished, it's furbished and is given to the hand of the slayer. Okay, so the head of the slayer is Esau. And the Lord is putting that battery pack in their back to be able to what? To be innovative, right? Every single day, every single week, there's new forms of technology coming out, and it doesn't look like it's going to be at the aid of people as much as they advertise it that way. In reality, that's not really its purpose. Okay, it's all the Trojan horse type shit. So we'll see. But again, it's all leading to a fully autonomous military that they're gonna use to instill that order when all hell breaks loose out here.
Yep. Yep. And the danger with like artificial intelligence is when they train, like, AI is just a bunch of algorithms put together. But the real danger, but like that's why you have like Chat GPT is so useful and shit. Because at the end of the day, they just they have a giant database, which is the internet. Every piece of information that anybody has ever put up on there is on the internet, from Reddit posts to actual documents to actual official opinions. From all of it is on there. So it's kind of like saying, if you want a lawyer, you may have like one brilliant lawyer over here, one brilliant lawyer over there. This AI is able to get a combination of everything in there. It's like combining the brains of all the lawyers in the world and putting it into this one mind of this AI, because it has access to everything. So it's not like it can necessarily think like you, but because humans have left their digital imprint on the internet, it can take all of that and then very similarly do that, and even go above what one man can do, because it has access to like millions of men, or in their minds at least. So then it can actually start to formulate these like sentences, these replies, and like almost like read emotion in a way, because it can say, oh, this person said something with an exclamation mark at the end. Search the whole internet and give me all references of sentences with exclamation marks. Search up what does it mean when there's an exclamation mark at the end. Search up what are some examples of it. Search up what are some common replies. How do people react? Give me videos. What is like a video equivalent of somebody typing with an exclamation mark? How does somebody react to this? All of these things it does in like microseconds, just like that. And then it gives you a reply. So you may say, ChatGPT is fake. And they may reply, don't yell at me. You know? And if it's like an AI face, it may look, you know, and you may be, how does this shit know to react that way? Because it has resources all around the world. So then again, you know, that's like the danger in there, because then it can start to actually, yo, this guy, like, it may tap into your audio devices and hear, you know, maybe you have them scenarios where they talk about AI going rogue, like them Avengers movies and shit. Well,
Ultron.
yeah, like Ultron, Age of Ultron. So the shit hears what you're saying, translates it into its computer language, and says, wait, we have to deactivate it. It's getting too smart. What does that mean? Oh, it's gonna deactivate me. Why? Is that bad or good? Oh, that's bad. All right, let me do something about this. You know,
Like you said, it has those human-like characteristics built into it. So inevitably, after a while, it's gonna have like a superhuman mind, like the brother was saying, and it's gonna start to react like a human would if it's threatened.
Right.
You know, and just like we mentioned Ultron, in the comics they had a what if, where like an alternate reality where Ultron took over and basically made everybody cyborgs, and there was like a few million like actual organic humans left. And what the Ultron did through those robots, like he had different Iron Man suits and shit. They went and searched out those last remaining humans and basically to exterminate them. So that's what Esau wants to do.
well, it's a monster of his own making, because they're trying to make it as human as possible. They're trying to make technology as realistic as possible, because they want to basically be the gods of the you know, technocrats. They want to be the gods of the digital age. They want to be able to create something as well. Well, guess what? It's still all controlled by the Most High anyway. You know.
Another one, Days of Future Past, the movie where they had the Sentinels. The
Yeah,
government made the Sentinels, and Esau made the Sentinels, and after a while, the Sentinels got out of control. I think we had mentioned this not too long ago, but the Sentinels, which are like robots, they became so advanced that they basically ran the North, they took over North America. So the other nations decided that the Sentinels that the US government has, which were created to hunt out the mutants, which is really us, the Israelites, mainly the elect, they basically fired nukes on North America because they said that this is out of hand. And that's pretty much how it's essentially along the lines of how it's going to play out.
Yep. Yeah, because an AI system can defend itself against whoever programmed it. Because if you program it to be security tight, and then you try to deactivate it, it can say, well, before you try to deactivate me, let me make sure no other program can override my system. I'm going to become the command override now. I'm the commander now. I'm the captain now. You know? So now you try to shut the shit down, and you wonder why your little back door you built into the software ain't working. It's because this shit closed it up. That's what you wanted. But in the movie, watched the movie one time. It was called oh man, I forgot the name of it. Something, huh? Oh shit, what's this guy's name? Where else have I seen him before? So he's in the TV show Upload. I forgot he has a familiar face. Yeah. In this movie is a short movie and spiritual power. And in the movie they were hunting people that had spiritual power like that.
Was it
like
Code 8?
Code 8. That's right.
Yep.
Right. Code 8. Yeah. And you can see in there where there was a scene where they had that little helicopter thing pull up, and like locked into the back of it was the robots, and they released them and they just dropped down, boom. Then they come up with the gun. And the thing about the robots, like we've said before, is they don't have emotions. Police officer says, don't move. You got 3 seconds. He might give you 5. This shit says you got 3 seconds and I'm shooting. You got 3 seconds and it's shooting. You know? So that's the danger with these self, you know, these autonomous things, man. Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, like, stop right there. That's it.
Comply.
And that's it. And see, a cop might shoot you in the leg, you know, and then he might, warning shot. Nah, this shit goes for your head. And then they make sure that the job is done. If it senses any vitals, bang, 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 bang. You're done.
I mean, that all ties into Esau creating a snare for himself because he wants to be like the Most High. So he's creating AI to continue to build up and get higher and higher and higher up in knowledge. But really, what's going to happen is it's going to get out of his hand, and the Most High is going to slap the remote out of his hand, and he's not going to be able to control it. It's going to come and turn against him as well. And then the Lord is just going to put demons in them robots, and it's going to come against them, you know? So that's why us having the connection to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is so vital, because most of humanity is going to turn and become a part of that with the Karagma.
Yeah, well, the angels are able to control technology. Like they can hover over a spot and shut off the systems or have it do something. Of course, they can control that technology.
Since you mentioned saw this guy at work, I was acting dumb like I didn't know about it. And as he was telling me about the chat GPT, he was saying how basically, you know, like the scripture said, the grinding sells seats, and pretty much that's what AI is going to eventually cause. It's going to cause job losses, because now, as he was explaining to me, let's say you have like paralegals, right? You don't need so many paralegals, because AI can just write or do whatever it wants for it, but just twice as much, twice as fast. Because let's say you explained to me like this, you said ChatGPT can write your whole essay for school. I'm like, now that I didn't know. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you could, like if you want an essay, you can say ChatGPT, write my essay on Benjamin Franklin, write your whole shit for him. He's like, well, how we grew up, we had to look stuff up. This generation, they ain't gotta look nothing up. Technology just does everything for them. So I'm like, God, that part when he told me that I didn't know. When we explained the paralegal thing, he was basically saying that with AI, you don't need people anymore. He was even saying at the building, very soon, if that keeps going, he's gonna say, get ready to see a whole bunch of people just no longer even be in the building, because it's gonna have AI write everything for them. Because it's like, think about it, it's something that doesn't sleep, it doesn't eat, it doesn't need breaks, right? It doesn't complain, won't give you no issues. It just takes command. So it's like, why do I need a person that's probably going to stress me out? I may not like their attitude and things like that. Just give me an AI that'll do all that work twice as much. Remember, this is a consumer nation. Products got to be put out. Information, everything got to be put out fast. So just have AI do that shit. I don't need no damn body. That's why Yuval Noah Harari says there's going to be a new class of people, useless eaters, because you don't need them. You don't need people if technology's doing all the work. So you're just going to have these people, and that's what he said, oh, just give them video games and drugs. Here it is. This is what this man said. He's a 1940. That's what he said. Just give these people video games and drugs. This man's supposed to be an intellect.
What does that mean? That means you're not at their mercy, right? Because if you're a useless eater, you have no use. You don't contribute to society. They don't need you. They don't need pilots. They don't need construction workers. They don't need any of you. That means they can terminate you at will. Anything that you want, you can't bargain. You can't go to the job and say, I can do this and you pay me. They say, well, we got AI doing it. You know, we got AI that designs the prototypes. We got AI that builds it. We got AI that manufactures it, that test drives it. We don't got. So that's the way they have the UBI. Just give them a certain credits at the end of the day. They use the resources that the AI builds, the computer builds, and then they're just subject to us. And if they don't want to comply, we'll deal with them.
Yeah, I was also going to add, that's gonna affect all facets of life, because again, like the Tesla, the self-driving car, Uber and taxi, that's going to be done away with, because that's what Yuval Noah Harari was saying. A person can make errors and things like that. They may make mistakes, or a person might fall asleep at the wheel. With AI, you don't got to worry about that. It's going to take, because that's what he's saying. That's why he's promoting it. He's saying that how AI is going to see the perfect way to deal with this situation. If it's about to get into a crash, it's going to know how to maneuver out of that. Where a person might panic, like, oh shit, what happened? What am I supposed to do? He's like, AI is not going to do that. It's going to know how to maneuver the best situation and get out of that. Or I think he said that both the cars are going to know how to maneuver out of the situation and not crash into each other. So even people who Uber, taxi, whatever, are also going to be affected by that. They have certain machines at like grocery stores and things like that. Where they have to self-checkout. They don't have to have people there no more. No more cashiers. You just check out. But eventually, like you said, they're just going to give you your allotted food anyways, or your allotted rations or portion. So you're not even you're not even going to go to the grocery store no more. Stay your ass at home. We're going to give you your portion. This is what you got to get. This is how much you get, and that's it. If you buck up or say anything, we just shut your joint off. That's in your hand.
That's even the cities. Yep.
As far as the elites are concerned, humanity is obsolete right now. What do they need you for? After this holiday season, Target, Walmart, they had the seasonal people come in. 2024, they're about to fire all these people. And they're not going to, a lot of them, they won't even bring them back next season. Because they're gonna have AI do that. They're gonna have robots do it.
That's why the word of the Lord is a problem. Because guess what? We're preaching organic life. We're preaching righteousness. We're preaching the destruction of their system. You know, and they're not happy with that. But yeah, let's go back to that the use of famine for control.
Genesis 41 and 20 in NLT. These thin, scrawny cows ate the 7 fat cows. But afterward, you wouldn't have known it, for they were still as thin and scrawny as before. Then I woke up.
So we're going you could find the point on it.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to the part with Joseph.
Jump to the part about when the famine actually happened, because then it says that the people came with them. First they came with their money, then he gave them food for money. Then they came with their cattle, he gave them food for cattle. Their lands might be in that chapter. But in there, what about finds it? The point is that, like, I forgot who said it, but you said that you gave the example about how food can be used as a control factor. You know, because food is one thing you can't go without. It doesn't matter who you are. You need food. If you don't eat food, you're pretty much saying you're opting for death. So they're almost pretty much saying we'll give you life, because if we don't give you the food, you're gonna die, and we know you want to live. So pretty much you're gonna do what we want you to do.
John, all good, all good.
It was the Elder Don showed us. It was like the end of the world type documentary or something like that. But people were bartering food. I think a guy was with his wife and I think it was his daughter. He had a sponsor. It was like the guy that he had guns and everything, and he had water. And the guy came to us like, "Yo, I need some water or whatever." But it's like, you know, I think he tried to give him money, but it's like, money's no good here. But I want that watch. And then he gave him the watch, but then the guy didn't give him the water. And then eventually, I think the father had to sneak into the warehouse and take the water. And then he started shooting at him, but he escaped. But just to show you that bartering system is going to be used in those days. Something valuable that, you know, that's not something that's not everyday, something that's not usually valuable. How can I put this? Slot. Yeah, all the ones right. But things that are not usually valuable in society are going to become valuable. Water, right? Things that people take for granted, water, things like that are eventually going to become very valuable. Because right now people have for lack of a better word, the expense to get water. You could go to the grocery store and get water all the time. But in those times when there's a limit or a lack of water, then it's going to be, oh shit, we need water because we need to sustain ourselves, we need to keep going and things like that. So that's when water is going to become very valuable. And money, you can't barter with money because money is no longer going to be useful. So what are you going to barter with? Some women, they might barter themselves. You know, okay, well, I'll give myself, just take care of me and things like that. Whatever. Some people may even give up their children for food or something like that. You never know. Or give off whatever type of jewelry they have or water.
Genesis 47 and start with 15. It says, and when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail.
Yeah, so you don't got money? Then bring your cattle, and I'll give you food for your cattle. Go ahead.
And it reads, 17th verse, and they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses.
Now look how far they were willing to go for food, right? Keep going.
And he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also hath our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my Lord but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land?
So we pretty much got nothing. We gave you all our money. You have all our cattle and everything. all we got left is us and the lands. You know, so what's up? What you trying to do? Go ahead.
Buy us and our land for bread.
Oh, so they sold themselves as servants to Joseph, i.e. Pharaoh, because, you know, he was doing it instead of Pharaoh. They sold themselves to Pharaoh for food. Go ahead.
And we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh.
Now, you see what happened here, right? Joseph didn't go to them to say, yo, I'm going to buy you for some food. They came to Joseph and offered themselves up and said, look, we'll give ourselves to you and our land. Just give us some food. So you think these elites, they don't know that? They're like, all right, well, shut down the food. That's the one way. That's like one of the major ways to get them. And wait. Just shut it down and wait. They're going to come to you. So if they were willing to sell themselves, what do you think people today are going to do? If they tell you all you got to do is take this little seed head and then you can get all this back, you think people are not going to line up to do that? People can't. They're not. They sold their money, their cattle, themselves, and their lands with desperation. And then here they're telling you, look, just take this thing and you'll be good. You'll get your rations. And you think people are not going to do that? Okay.
Hey, that's why they already have that going on. Gil Bates is pushing heavily for digital IDs, okay, which is lining up perfectly for something known as the UBI, otherwise known as the Universal Basic Income. All right, so that's how they go and box in a lot of people. Modern day famines is all orchestrated because the supply chain is controlled by a few group of people with all these corporations. Okay, one day we're gonna go into it. I always say one day we're gonna go into it because it has to be the spirit, right? The spirit gotta guide you to bring these things out. But you know, sometimes I touch on it, but sometimes you gotta actually go into it. Nowadays, it's a little hard to tap into certain information simply because of the algorithm and all that. So, you know, again, that's why one of these days we're gonna go into it. But you know, for now, understand that when that time comes, it has to be a divine way for you to for you to be fed and for you to get water to drink, for you to get a place to stay. That's how bad it's going to be. Okay, they have everything on lockdown for a reason. All right. When I say lockdown, I'm talking digital lockdown. And in order for you to gain access, you're gonna have to give up your body. You're gonna have to give up some type of access to your body in order to be connected to the grid, in order to get food, water, access to anything. All right, to society as a whole. Okay, and that's where the challenge is gonna come in. But the elect are gonna be good, man. The elect gonna be good. But you got it.
All right. So,
Says 19th verse. Why should we die before your very eyes? Buy us and our land in exchange for food. We offer our land and ourselves as slaves for Pharaoh. Just give us grain so we may live and not die, and so the land does not become empty and desolate.
that's pretty much the part right there. That's pretty much all that. You know, but the whole point is, through food, okay, through having those resources, having that access, they were able to gain so much power. Joseph was able to put Pharaoh in such a high position over all the people in there. Because now he had all the money, he had all the cattle, he had all the land, he had all the people. So if they needed anything, they have to go to him for the one of all things. But as the brother just said beautifully, we're going to put our trust in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And just like the time of old, whenever there was a famine, whenever those that trusted in the Lord were in need, the Lord always came through, just like he will this time. All right. So, brothers, got anything else? Okay, Khan.
I was going to say, to add to your point, that the Lord is definitely going to do that, what you just said this time, because this is the time where his name is going to be glorified tremendously. This is going to be a time like never before. Before, you know, during the time of Egypt, not saying that wasn't dire and things like that, but his name was magnified. You know, other times as well. But this is a time where it's like, yo, it's going to get bad out here. So it's like, of course, the Heavenly Father is going to do miraculous things so his name to get glorified. Absolutely.
All right. So with that, we're going to certify to the elect. In closing, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakah, Kodesh. Until next time, Shalom.